I've had, I haven't consistently been happy. And while you know my bio, you probably don't know the whole story behind it. I had a broken and traumatic upbringing, one I hid from by working and then working some more. I reached the top of what I thought would be a long climb to success way earlier than I ever imagined, becoming a network news anchor at just 21. The more I achieved, the harder I worked. I thought that if I only worked harder, I would be even more successful, and then I would be happy. I told myself when I get to this network, I'll be happy. Then I would get there and say, well, when I get this position, I'll be happy. But breaking news, I wasn't. There was always another benchmark for success, always more to achieve, and always more realness to hide from. Until very recently, if you had asked me to make a list of all the things I valued, it wouldn't have even occurred to me to put myself on it. The list was long with everything I'd always wanted. A super job, a super man, an overall super life. But I wasn't devoting any time or effort into becoming a superwoman first. Until, also very recently, I had a breakdown. A complete and total mental, physical, and emotional breakdown. The developmental trauma I ignored or numbed with work for so many years finally kicked my ass. And only then did I have no choice but to make myself a priority. Of course, I had experienced setbacks before, but my burnout and subsequent breakdown was the first and only time in my life that I fell down such a deep, dark hole that no one else could get me out of it. No one could swoop in to rescue me. I had to rescue myself. That's when I realized I'm not Superwoman, and I don't want to be. What I wanted to be was a superwoman, a woman who, when she needed a hero, became one. My climb from rock bottom was a long one. If you're starting at a higher place than me, well, I'm not mad at you. But you still have to climb to get to the top. There's no secret elevator. There's no quick fix. In fact, there is no external solution to an internal problem. If you think you're okay just muscling through your problems as they arise, or maybe even you think you found balance, keep thinking. Balance is not something you find. It's something you create, actively participate in, and practice all the time. And not drowning is not the same as swimming. The space between hanging in there and being truly happy is where the real work is. My space was a pretty big one, but if I could close that gap, then anyone can, including you. While researching this book, I conducted the largest survey ever done on women and burnout. I developed it with the help of the Institute for Applied Positive Research. What I found wasn't particularly surprising, given how I felt about myself, of course, but it also wasn't good. 82% of respondents have experienced burnout, and 89% have felt they were on the verge of burnout. 49% have experienced a legitimate breakdown, and 71% have felt like they were close to experiencing one. 88% said that there had been a time when mental or emotional stress affected their work. Almost 50% feel anxious 4 or more days a week. More than half, 57%, said that their life did not feel balanced. 63% feel the pace of their life, though, is sustainable. Think about that last stat compared to what we just talked about before. How is it that so many of us are teetering on the edge of burnout or total breakdown, and yet the majority of us also feel that the pace of our lives is sustainable? What gives? We are clearly struggling, but many of us are not yet ready to admit that it's a problem. I wasn't until after I broke down. But until we face that